We'll see who's sleeping. Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Viime.
Less than 13 years, sir.
Viime.
Thank you very much. All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is...
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first. I said the first African-American elected. The first. We should be making those masks. We should be moving on those ventilators. We can do that. Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
You know,
I guess,
Donald Trump was
really
asked on...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, probably best I don't. I just can't figure the guy. It's like, I don't know, it's like watching a yo-yo. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's like watching...
It feels that way. I want to ask...
Lost, anyway. I would see to it for immediately moving toward, we're in fact in a position now that if in fact we dealt with mitigation across the board, just what we did in the last administration and before, leading to a standard that we provide efficiency for appliances. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. I've been here a number of times. Last time was, I think, all the way back in 2014, but I've been here before that. I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it, and what a neat town. We cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
If you would turn 82 at the end of your first term, you'd be the oldest president in American history.
Winston Churchill.
Are you willing to commit American history?
Oh, American history.
Yes. Are you?
I was joking. Sure that we have no one going to jail for a drug offense. They go directly mandatory mandatory treatment, not prison. The matter is that what's happened is that we're in a situation now where there are so many people who are in jail and shouldn't be in jail. The whole means by which this should change is the whole model has to change. We should be talking about rehabilitation. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there.
You only get one shot, and your first issue that you're going to push, you get one shot that it may be the only thing you get passed. What is that first issue for your presidency?
The first thing I would do is make sure that we defeat Donald Trump.
Okay.
Period. Get a tax break for a racehorse. Why in God's name couldn't we provide an $8,000 tax credit for everybody who has child care costs? It would put 720 million women back in the workforce. 4 more years of Donald Trump will go down as an aberration. Hard to overcome the damage he's done, but we can overcome it. 8 more years of Donald Trump will change America in a fundamental way. The America we know will no longer exist.
Hey, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, you switched on me. This is my wife, this is my sister. They switched on me.
I'm ready on day one after more than 3 years in office. Why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up.
Pick up your phones. Pick up your phone now. Send a text to the word United to the number 30330. Okay? That's United. 30330 or 303-330 or BOO. Wait.
Stay with me. Go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. In my household, you could never, ever, 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 ever say, you get in a fight with somebody, you could never say anything about them. It was true. You couldn't say if they were 300 pounds, you couldn't say you're fat. You
Want to check my shape on? Let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Look, fat, look, here's the deal. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. And we have to make it clear from the top, from the president on down, that we will not tolerate.
Can you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Today you said you accepted Bernie's apology, and now you're attacking him. Why are you doing that?
Go.
Why wasn't his apology enough, Mr. Vice President? Why attack Sanders? Why?
150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. More than all the wars, including Vietnam, from that point on. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but
a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.